Hello, Standard 8. I am back with Chapter 3, Part 2. In the last session, we had seen about the Chapter 3, Glimpses of the Past, Part 1. Okay, and what had we seen in this chapter? We had seen that how did the Britishers establish their rule on us? Okay, how did they think of ruling? They came to our country as traders, and slowly how did they establish themselves in our country? We had seen about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. We had seen about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, that how did he abolish the practice of sati and child marriage. Okay, he was a well educated man from Bengal, but he was the first in our country to realize that something was wrong with our country. We had also seen about how did the Britishers, you can say, torture, such kind of things, like how did they torture the farmers and others, the traders, okay, by levying high taxes on the poor farmers. And if the farmers were not able to pay the taxes, their lands were taken up. They were threatened and put into jail. Okay, they continuously, means here you can say continuously the Britishers were trying to find ways to exploit the people and earn more profits. For that, what did they do? The goods which were manufactured in England were being imported to India, and no import duties were levied on them. Means here the loss was there with the Indians, and the England produced was sold in a very high price, and where else the England produce was sold in a high price in our country, and no taxes were taken on that, and the Indian produce were taken away and they were given very less price. Means this is one kind of an example which is showing that how did the Britishers exploited the people, we Indians. Okay, and because of this it resulted to the famine. Famine means scarcity of food. Okay, and due to which approximately 15 lakh Indians starved of death between 1822 to 1836. Okay, let's move further now with our fifth section. We have learned four sections. Now with the fifth section, that is the oppression. 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 Oppression means prolonged cruel and unjust treatment or exercise of authority. Okay, let's continue. The Britishers continue to find new ways to bring misery and suffering to Indians. So what do you understand by oppression? Oppression means some cruel ways, okay, not stopping or unjust treatment which is been given. So what did the Britishers do? The Britishers continue to find some or the other way to harass the Indians. For instance, they passed unfair regulations, means the rules and regulations. Now, before this, they were trying to give out like no tax, to take high taxes and all of the other ways in which they could torture the Indians. Okay, but now they have, now with the rules and regulations, unfair regulations that kept them at an advantage, like the regulation 3 in 1818, under which an Indian could be jailed without a proper trial of court. Means no case, nothing. If any Indian is found doing any kind of wrong deeds without any proper trial, he would be put into jail. This rule, this regulation number 3 was put out in 1880. Now because of which the Indians, now they were very afraid of doing any kind of work, means they were not knowing that for which thing they may be put into jail. As they continued to suppress Indians, they created all sorts of favorable circumstances to uplift their officers. Means to, here you can say, to bring up their, uplift their officers. Okay, they created all sort of favorable circumstances. So their own white, you can say, their own white officers can be uplifted rather than the Indian. The Indian soldiers were also there at that time in the army, in the British army. Okay, but the promotions, you can say, or the profit, you can say, were only given to the British officers. The British officers drew huge amount of salaries and could deepen their pockets by making a fortune out of their private businesses. Means they were, the British officers were doing the salary also. Okay, and other than that, they had their private businesses also. But this kind of things or this kind of profit were not given to the Indian soldiers. Means this was also one kind of injustice done by the Britishers towards the Indians. Okay, so that's why this part is given the name oppression. Oppression means prolonged, cruel or unjust treatment. Okay, unjust treatment. By giving out the regulation, rules and regulations which were unjust, by not giving the proper, you can say, priority to both of them. Whether they were the Indians or Britishers, they were working for you. So if the Indians were there in the British army, what should the Britishers have done? They should have given them the same priority, they should have given them the same weightage as they were giving the British soldiers. But this didn't happen. Okay, so further, what happened? The Britishers were exporting goods in huge quantities from Britain. Means they were bringing the things which were manufactured in Britain to India in a very huge quantity. Okay. In 1829, they were importing goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. Means they bought in India, they bought 17 crores of goods in India. As a result, the Britishers grew richer and richer, leaving the Indian industries high and dry. Now due to this, what happened? Due to this, the Britishers were becoming richer and the Indian industries were becoming dry. Dry means they were not getting any kind of profits, they were not earning anything, they were in a great loss. But the Britishers were importing now the things. Means they were bringing their expensive things to India. Okay, and the things which were taken from India to their place were not given a proper good price. So what was the result? The result was that now the Britishers were growing richer and richer and the Indian industries were now high and dry. Governor General Bentinck have conveyed to Britain that the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India to highlight the flights and misery of the traditional cotton weavers in India. This means that the cotton weavers were forced to starve because of the cotton mills set up by Britishers. Now Governor General Bentinck, what did he say? He had conveyed to Britain that the bones of the the bones of the cotton weavers were bleaching the plains. Means the cotton weavers used to live in the plains of the India. But the Britishers never wanted any Indian industries to grow up. So now they started looking at the cotton weavers. And what happened with this? With this, it happened that the cotton weavers were forced to starve. Why? Because the cotton mills were set up by the Britishers. Now the Britishers also had set up the cotton mills, and because of which the cotton weavers now they did not have any work. They produced much cheaper cloth with the help of machines that led the traditional Indian handicrafts to extinction. What did the Britishers do? The Britishers now they also started making the cotton clothes. Previously the cotton weavers, they used to make the clothes by their own hands. They used to weave the clothes by their own hands, which were very expensive also, which were very long lasting also. But when the Britishers started making the clothes, they started making the clothes with the machines, which was much, you can say, easier also and very fast also. Okay, due to which the handicraft of India, the Indian handicraft now was to extinction. Extinction means now it was going to get over. So because of which the Indian industries were leading a very high loss. Okay, so these were the things which the Britishers were doing when they came to India. They were not letting the Indian industries to grow up. Why? Because they were, you can say here, afraid also. You can use the word afraid. They were afraid or scared of it, that if the Indian industries grow up, they'll become powerful, and due to which they can be thrown out of India anytime. Okay, so what happened? Now moving to our sixth section, that is the dissatisfaction. What happened then? Back then, all the teachings were in the form of Persian and Sanskrit. Now here talking about the education. Whatever schools we had in the olden days or in the ancient times, they all were in the form of Persian and Sanskrit language. So in 1935, a British officer named Macaulay suggested that they must translate all of it in English so that the education is delivered in their language. Now after looking at everything, you can say, the industries or for each and everything, whatever they could take up by their self. Now their aim was on the education. Education was in Persian and Sanskrit language. But in 1835, one British officer named Macaulay, what did he suggest the Britishers? What did he suggest the British administration? That whatever books are there here, let it be translated in English so that the education is delivered in their language. They did so to produce clerks to get their unimportant clerical tasks and administrative duties like answering the phone, typing documents, filing and liaising with clients done. Why did they do so? They did so because they wanted to produce the clerk. Clerks means who can do the clerical work of the offices. to attend the phone, to type the document, for such things. So they wanted their language to be introduced, to be delivered in India, so that most of the official or clerical work could be done by the clerks. In the process of doing so, they manufactured a whole new generation of masterminds who wanted to uplift their brothers too by educating them. Okay, and by this process, what happened? They manufactured a whole new generation of mastermind. Because who does not want to get uplifted? And with education, if you are getting uplifted, everybody wants. They wanted to strengthen their financial prospects. But here we can see one thing, that it was all the selfishness of the Britishers. They were only looking at their profit. If they were introducing their language in India, if they were introducing their education English in India, then it was totally their selfishness. They were not thinking any good of our country or good of the Indians. Okay, they wanted to strengthen their financial prospects that could lead to a promising future. Why were they doing this? They were doing this because they want to strengthen their financial prospects in India, and due to which they could lead a very good future. But they needed to convey this to the British Parliament. Britishers, on the other hand, couldn't care less about the needs of the Indian people. The only thing which they needed to do is they had to convey the British Parliament, and because of this, they did not even care for the needs of the Indian people. The Britishers are such a, you can say, selfish people. They don't even care for the needs of the Indian people. They didn't even care at that time. Okay. Now with all these activities of the Britishers, what happened to the Indians? Now by this time, means all these activities when it was happening, by this time now the Indian people had become worried, because now their culture, their tradition were not given that priority which they wanted. Their kings were now being treated as puppets. Before the Britishers came to India, our India was ruled by the kings and emperors. Sorry. But when the Britishers entered India, slowly, when they started taking power in their hands. Now our kings were the puppets. Puppets means our king had to behave as per the Britishers said. They had lost their old jobs and lands. Whatever they had was all taken away by the Britishers. Britishers were forcing them to change their religions. Now the Britishers were also forcing the kings, or you can say the Indians, to change their religion in Christianity. Indians were tired of talking and wanted to do something. Now because of this, as the Britishers had now started torturing them with all the things which they could, but how much anyone can suffer? They had to raise their voice. Now the Britishers wanted to do something. Now they were not going to sit quiet at all. Now the Indians wanted to do something with these Britishers. They were not ready. They were not ready to accept what the Britishers were doing with them. But by 1856, the Britishers had acquired all parts of India. Means they had undertaken, or you can say, all the parts of India by 1856. 6. Okay, but till how much time or till when were the Indians going to survive such a life? They had to take some action. The ever rising. Now our seventh section is the sparks. Means how did the Indians raise their voice? What did they do? They were not ready now to suffer more, to survive more the way the way the Britishers wanted. Okay, so the ever increasing taxes levied on the peasants continued to pressurize them and worsen their financial situations. Now the taxes which were levied on the peasants means on the farmers now were not ready to take any more. How much time would they survive with this condition where their children, their family were starving now? So the Santals in Bengal became disheartened and hopeless after they lost their land to the Britishers under the new land rules. In 1855, they launched a rebellion and massacred Europeans and all those who supported them. Now the Santals now they were also now disheartened and hopeless because the new land rule which was put out by the Britishers, because of that the Santals had lost their lands. Okay. So in 1855, what did the Santals do? They launched a rebellion and massacred the Europeans who supported them. The people working under the East India Company were highly dissatisfied too. The Indians who were working for the East India Company, for the Britishers you can say. East India Company means for the Britishers. Okay, they were very much dissatisfied with whatever pay they were being given. The fact that they gave Englishmen good pay, pensions and other help, while they gave Indians any inadequate pay, slow promotions, further agitated Indians. Okay, now why were the Indians dissatisfied? The Indians were dissatisfied who were working under the East India Company. They were highly dissatisfied because they saw that the Englishmen were given a very good salary. Pension means a very good house to live. Okay, and other promotions, other helps also. But when it came to the Indians, the Britishers, they only gave them some inadequate pay. Okay, no promotions, or the promotions were there also, then too they were very slow. Okay, they felt bad that the Britishers urged them to move out of their land to cross the sea and work for them, which was even against their religion. Means why were the Indians dissatisfied? Because now they were feeling bad that the Britishers were forcing them. What were the Britishers doing? The Britishers were sending them to their country. They were sending the Indians to their country to work, to become slave, to change their religion and do many kind of work which was against their religion. They were motivated to drive Britishers out. An Indian soldier serving under British or European orders named Mangal Pandey even attacked the adjutant of his regiment, but was later executed. When you must have learnt history, you must have come to know about Mangal Pandey. How did he raise his voice? Because he was said to do the work that was against his religion. But he raised his voice, he attacked the adjutant of his regiment. Later he was executed. Around thousands of other sepoys like Mangal Pandey. When Mangal Pandey raised the voice, thousands of sepoys like him also became violent, took violent action against the Britishers. But they were only robbed of their uniform in turn to make the sepoys feel humiliated. Means when Mangal Pandey raised the voice, he with him many other means the other Indian soldiers also joined him. Okay, they took violent action against the Britishers. But what happened? They were only robbed of their uniform in turn. Okay, now with this, there was a fear in the Britishers. There was a fear in the Britishers. Some of the Englishmen even began to understand how Indians thought, how their minds work and their customs. So they told Brahmin soldiers that the bullet they were supposed to bite is covered with grease made of cow and pig fat. Okay, so the Britishers did all kind of deeds by which they could harass the Indians. The Indian soldiers who were there in the British army, the Britishers told them that the bullet which they are supposed to use, the bullet which they are using is supposed to be, they are supposed to bite it, and that bullet is been covered with grease of cow and pig fat. Because now the Britishers had understood the thought and mind of the Indians, their customs, what were they? Next, chapatis were being sent to each home in every village, conveying that their services could be required to fight the Englishmen. Now what did the Britishers started doing? They started serving food to the houses. Why? Only to convey that any time, if at any point of time when it is being required, the Britishers could call them to fight. People agreed. Lotus flowers were circulated among the Indian soldiers. The nation stood against them with the support of the masses in form of shelter and other help of the patriots. Okay, now the foods were supplied so that at the time when it has been needed, they could fight the Englishmen, against the Englishmen. And everybody wanted to get rid of the Britishers, so the people agreed that. Now the people agreed. That's why this part is given the name spark. That how did it light? How did the people light their own life? Okay, too much of harassment. When there was too much of harassment, people now stood in unity. They now no longer wanted the Britishers to rule them. Okay, now what is the revolt for this? The urge to free the nation of the British continued to grow. Now we wanted to free our India. Okay, in 1857, we wanted to free our India. So that grew. The city of Meerut was experienced a violent outbreak. The first outbreak which took was in Meerut. The sepoys marched and moved to Delhi by the incident of Mangal Pandey, right? That revolution continued. The sepoys who were there with Mangal Pandey did not sit silent. Okay, they moved from Meerut to Delhi to support their emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar. The revolt continued to spread and grow. Now with this, many other soldiers, or you can say many other Indians also joined them. This revolution grew and spread very long. They even got the support of the landlords. Now for each and everything they needed money. Now they got the support of the landlords also, that had also lost their land due to the new land rules. Now who all were involved in this? In this revolution, who all got involved? In this, the people who were harassed by the Britishers. Because they were alone, they couldn't raise their voice. But when they saw that there is a big revolution of it, where the others are trying to push out the Britishers from India. So now everybody became unity. Everybody made a unity, and now they were all together to put the Britishers out of their country. People were angry and wanted to fight the Britishers. How long were they going to survive such a life which was given by the Britishers to them? Someday or the other they had to raise their voice, right? Same happened here. With a group of soldiers, now it was the whole country, you can say, that were against the Britishers. Because the farmers, the merchants, the landlords, the industrialists, everybody were harassed by the Britishers. So they all together became a union and they wanted to fight the Britishers. With this, there was a fight for freedom in 1857. Now, not only with the peasants and all, peasants and you can say merchants and landlords, there were problems with the kings also. Many former rulers were bitter too. Bitter too means they were angry too. Why? Because the Englishmen, the Britishers, had taken their rule of their kingdoms. Leaders like Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faridabad motivated people to free the country. So now what did the kings now started doing? Now they started motivating the people that how could we free our country from these Britishers? Of all the Englishmen, people of Bareilly, Kanpur, Allahabad rose forward too. Now everybody was raising their voice. Everybody were coming together so that all together when they become one, they could get rid of these Englishmen. Former rulers like Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow joined them because her kingdom had been taken by the Britishers. Now Begum Hazrat Mahal also joined them. Why? Because her kingdom was also taken away by the Britishers. Hereby strengthening their power, entire North India came together in large number of fight, a pitched battle against the Britishers. Now the North Indian people, entire North India came together in a large number so that they could fight with the Britishers and make our country free. In the light of this, Azimullah Khan expressed his thoughts to Tatya Tope that they should have Peshwa Nana Sahib as their leader in this war of independence against the English. Okay, now the Marathas, they were also not going to leave back. Okay, they were not also going to sit back. Right? They also now started. In this light, Azimullah Khan, he expressed his thought to Tatya Tope that let us make Nana Sahib, Peshwa Nana Sahib, our leader. Okay, in this war of independence against the English. In this revolt against the British, 8-year-old Kunwar Singh of Bihar was hit by a bullet in the breast, which he dedicated to Mother Ganga as an offering. Kunwar Singh of Bihar. He was 8 years old when he got hit by a bullet in his breast. And what did he do? He dedicated his wrist to river Mother Ganga. Okay. So this is all about, you can say, in easy words, if I say that it is a short glimpse of the past, that how was our past when the Britishers ruled on us. Okay, how was our past and how did we overcome it. Okay, though it took 200 years to us, 200 years to come out of it, to overcome it, but we got success. Right? Moving to the word meanings, you have to note down the word meanings which are being there. Okay, there are too many word meanings in this, so you have to note it down. Please start writing. Discontent means dissatisfaction with one's circumstances. DISCONTENT. Discontent means dissatisfaction with one's circumstances. Brewing means something is about to happen and something is being prepared. Sepoy means an Indian soldier serving under British. They were called sepoys. Revolted, REVOLTED. Revolted, take violent action against an established government or ruler. Adjutant. What is adjutant? Adjutant is a military officer who acts as an administrative assistant to a senior officer. Pedance, PITTANCE. Pedance means a very small or inadequate amount of money. Upsurge, UPSURGE. Upsurge means an upward surge in the strength or quantity of something. And last one is pitched battle. Pitched battle means a violent confrontation involving numbers of people. That is called a pitched battle, in which number of people are involved. They are gathered to fight. That is called a pitched battle. Okay, so these were the word meanings. You have to note down these word meanings in your notebook. This was the second part of your chapter 3 for class 8, Glimpses of the Past. With this, we have completed the chapter. You will soon get a worksheet related with it. You have to complete that worksheet. Till then, take care of your health. Please study well. Bye.